I'll call this meeting of the Board of Health to order, and we'll begin with a roll call of the members.
Member Gall.
Here.
Member Lopez.
Here.
Member Real.
Here.
Member Pecora.
Here.
President Proper.
Here. All right, we'll move on to approval of minutes of the regular Board of Health meeting on November 19th, 2024.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. Motion and second. Any additions, corrections? All right, we'll do a roll call on the minutes.
Member Gall.
Yes.
Member Lopez.
Yes.
Member Real.
Yes.
Member Pecora.
Yes.
President Proper.
Yes. Under correspondence, we have received an appeal letter on November 25th, 2024 from Douglas A. Schultz for a public nuisance property at 34 High Street. So upon receiving the proper documentation, we will schedule a hearing for that appeal. Petition and hear visitors. Anyone who's not on the agenda tonight, like to address the Board of Health at this time. All right. Move on to old business. We have some nuisance waivers to consider. We're going to take these individually. We'll begin with the first waiver at 29 Charlotte Avenue. Owned by Cody Henner.
23, Charlotte.
Or excuse me, 23.
Mr. President, I think first we need to hear the Brandon's testimony to declare a public nuisance first.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So, yes, in the past, for these waivers, what we've done is the city presents a brief testimony from Mr. Plowman that the three properties are public nuisances. City then requests that the board declare these three properties a public nuisance. And then we get to a second step, if it's warranted, to approve the waivers where the property owners have agreed that these are public nuisances. So with that, I will call Mr. Plowman as a witness, if he could be sworn.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Plowman, if you could state your name for the record.
Brandon Plowman.
And are you currently employed?
Yes,
In what capacity?
I am the health director for the city of Bradford.
And how long have you been health director?
Approximately 4 months.
Prior to that 4 months, how were you employed if you were?
I was a property maintenance officer for the city of Bradford.
And prior to that employment, were you employed?
Yes,
In what capacity?
I was a contract. I worked for a local contractor here for Meeting-12.
In your current employment, do you receive any special certifications?
Yeah,
And those certifications require annual renewals to that effect?
yes,
Okay. So it's fair to say you've been in this business for at least 12, 13 years.
correct.
Okay. Mr. President, I would offer Mr. Plowman as an expert in this field.
Accepted.
Thank you. And in the course of your employment, you're familiar with the properties at 23 Charlotte Ave, 6 East Main, and 8 East Main, correct?
Correct.
And you've personally observed these properties?
Yes,
Okay. Starting with 23 Charlotte Ave, in your expert opinion, do you feel that that is a public nuisance?
yes.
Okay. Generally, if you could, just for the board, what did you observe, if anything, regarding 23 Charlotte Ave?
This house is in poor condition. It's been vacant for quite some time.
And you're aware that the property owner signed a waiver, correct?
Correct.
Regarding 6 East and 8 East Main,
I'd like to hear a little more about 23 Charlotte, why it's a public nuisance.
Okay,
More detail, if you would.
so this property was recently owned by Torsten Knudsen. And Cody Hennard had interest in the land that was behind Charlotte
The
Ave.
old city barns,
Yeah,
Central Italy.
yeah, so he didn't have an interest in the structure itself. It was just part of the package that he basically had to take on.
I mean, are there holes in the roof? Is it
Yes.
falling apart?
Yeah.
If you can give us a little more detail.
Yeah, so the front porch is just entirely deteriorated. The windows are missing, broken. It's just open to the public. 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 It's just o
So it's unsecured.
It is unsecured, yes, it's in poor condition.
Have you spoken to the owner, the current owner about it?
I talked to Cody briefly about it, yes. It's not a part of it's not something that he wanted to acquire with the rest of the, um, city barns.
But nonetheless, he did, knowing it was in a very poor condition.
Correct. Yep, it was part of the package, yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna suggest that we take these one at a time, so let's get through this process of, if there's not any other questions, a motion to declare this,
I make a motion we declare 23 Charlotte Avenue a public nuisance.
is there a second? Second. Okay, we'll do a roll call on that.
Member Gall?
Yes.
Member Lopez?
Yes.
Member Reel?
Yes.
Member Pecora?
Yes.
President Crawford?
Yes. And now a motion to approve the waiver.
Make a motion that we approve the waiver, or we deny the waiver.
Okay. Or we can just not make a motion at all.
Okay.
And it will die for a lack of a motion.
Well, if there's no second, we'll tie it.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
So you made the motion, I don't hear a second. We
Nope,
should
I don't
move
hear a
on to-
second.
We should move
Yep.
on to 6 East Main.
Okay,
For 6 East Main, Mr. Plowman, you personally observed 6 East Main.
Yes.
Okay. And if you could elaborate to the board, the conditions of the property that you feel is a public nuisance.
This property has been vacant for quite some time. I would consider the structure dangerous. There is a walking trail that goes up through this area. The floors are missing. There's graffiti on the inside, which obviously there's people going in and out of these structures.
You say the flooring is missing, you mean like the subfloor? There's holes in the floor?
Yep. Yep, the flooring structure is very poor condition.
And who owns 6 East Main?
John Farley,
And are you aware that he signed the waiver?
yes.
okay, any additional questions?
I make a motion we declare 6 East Main Street a public nuisance.
Second.
We will do a roll call.
Member Gall?
Yes.
Member Lopez?
Yes.
Member Reel?
Yes.
Member Pecora?
Yes.
President Crawford?
Yes. Then we'll entertain
Can
a
I just
motion.
interject for 1 second?
Yes.
Brandon does have photos of these.
Just exterior shot, one shot.
Do you want to send them up to us? I mean, we already wrote
Yeah.
that one. But we should get them in the record.
Yeah, for the record, I will mark this as A1, and this is a photograph of 6 East Main and 8 East Main. And Mr. Plowman, you took these photographs?
Yes.
Okay, you recall when you took the photographs?
November 26th.
You have one of the Charlotte ones, too?
I do. And the Exhibit A1 of 6 East Main and 8 East Main, it accurately depicts the conditions of the property when you took this?
Yeah.
I'm marking A2, which is 23 Charlotte Ave. Again, you took that photograph,
Correct.
and that was taken on December 3rd, correct?
That was taken on November 26th.
Excuse me, okay. And that photograph accurately depicts the content or the property as of that date, correct?
Correct.
So, Mr. President, we have moved for the amendment exhibits A1 through A2 for the waivers.
Okay, so we're accepting A1 for 23 Charlotte Avenue. And we're accepting exhibit A2, or excuse me, A2 for 23 Charlotte Avenue. And exhibit A1 for 6 East Main and 8 East Main. Okay, so we've approved 6 East Main as a public nuisance. I'll need a motion to grant the waiver.
Make a motion we grant a waiver for 6 East Main Street.
Second.
Okay, when you're ready, you can do a roll call on the waiver.
Member Gall?
Yes.
Member Lopez?
Yes.
Member Reel?
Yes.
Member Pecora?
Yes.
President Pro.
Yes. Okay, 8 East Main Street.
Mr. Plowman, are you aware of who owns 8 East Main Street?
Yes, Jim and Farleo.
And the same thing as 6 East Main, the board, if you could elaborate as to what conditions rise the level of a nuisance.
Basically the same conditions as 6 East Main. I would consider the structure to be basically extremely dangerous to the general public.
Is the structure secured, are you aware?
It is not secure.
Now that I saw the picture, I'm familiar with both houses being in very poor condition many years ago. I would make a motion to declare 8 East Main Street public nuisance.
Right. All right. We'll do a roll call vote on the public nuisance, 8 East Main Street.
Member Gall?
Yes.
Member Lopez?
Yeah.
Member Reel?
Yes.
Member Pecora?
Yes.
President Proper.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve a waiver of 8 East Main Street.
Second.
You're ready, a roll call vote on the waiver.
Member Gall?
Yes.
Member Lopez?
Yes.
Member Reel?
Yes.
Member Pecora?
Yes.
President Pro.
Yes. All right, we'll move on to our new business for the evening. The first is an appeal hearing for a nuisance property at 71 Rochester Street. Majid Sultan is the owner, and he is joining us online. I believe we should begin by having him sworn, correct?
He was sworn
Oh,
earlier.
he was sworn earlier? Okay.
I would ask that, if Mr. Sultan has not had it explained to him already what the purpose of an appeal hearing is, so we don't waste everybody's time in this room with
Okay.
dissertations that don't pertain to the appeal.
Okay.
We're wasting our time doing it too often.
Would you like to, you're very good at
Mr. Sultan, the purpose of appeal hearing is one of two things. One, for you to prove to us why we were wrong in declaring the property at 71 Rochester Street a public nuisance a while back, or two, for you to prove to us that you've made improvements to the property at 71 Rochester Street to the point where it should no longer be declared a public nuisance. So either we want you to convince us we were wrong to declare a public nuisance a while back, or that you remediated the issues that made it a public nuisance. Do you understand that? Okay, so you want to tell me?
Okay, yes, yeah. And just one additional thing before we move on, which I usually begin with, and that's, I would like to ask if the city has received all of the proper documentation and paperwork that we need to proceed with this hearing this evening. Okay, so, Mr. Sultan, you can,
President Proper,
Yes.
if I may, Mr. Schreiber just indicated to me that Mr. Sultan had provided numerous photographs for the Board of Health's consideration. That certainly would be helpful for you to envision what's going on.
Okay.
So I think maybe if I give these to Mr. Hanna, could you, well, no, who should?
well, would,
Mr. Sultan,
yeah,
you submitted a series of photographs to the Health Department of the City of Bradford, correct?
Yes, I sent them to him.
would you like us to accept those photographs as part of this hearing?
Yes.
Okay,
So what you should do, and we'll do on your behalf, because you're not here in the middle of it, knowing exactly how to handle it. Unless you object, we'll ask the Board of Health to view these photographs and to admit them into evidence in your case, okay?
Okay.
okay, I will mark these Exhibit A1. All right, and we will accept them. All right, as Mayor Reel, went through the procedure on what we would like to hear from you, you may begin presenting whatever information you have for us this evening.
I assure him I'm still working on this. I will do the best I can. And I bring my family.
What, can I ask my question?
Yeah.
What, Mr. Sultan, what all improvements have you done so far on the house? I have your letter here, but it doesn't list it. I see that you're looking for more time to work on the house, but what improvements have you done so far?
The living
The living- Did you put a new roof on the house?
yes, yes,
Okay. You did the whole roof?
yes,
And you had a contractor do it?
yes.
Okay. Did you get a permit for it?
The contract paper and the phone.
Okay, he had the roof done. He did it properly and legally, got a permit and everything. He was a licensed contractor. Okay. Okay, so you did the roof. You said you did the living room. What else have you done, sir?
I'm next I'm going to start kitchen.
You're going to start the kitchen? Okay. Where do you currently reside, Mr. Sultan?
I'm sorry.
Where are you currently living?
Right now,
Yes.
right now I'm living in a New York City.
Long Island. Okay. So you're coming up here and working on the house or just hiring people?
Yes,
You're a handyman. Okay. That's just a long commute from Long Island. It's got to be 7 hours at least. Okay. So what other plans do you have for the home as far as structurally securing its integrity?
my family lives.
I can't blame you for wanting to leave Long Island and come to Bradford, but so you no, it's a godforsaken place. So you, what's that?
I love your place. I was something there, and I did have it.
Okay.
I loved it.
Okay. So we had a conversation earlier about the purpose of an appeal, either to prove that we were wrong or to prove you made substantial improvements. But it sounds to me like you're asking for more time. You're actually waiting, asking for us to continue the appeal hearing is what we would do.
Yes.
Would you be in agreement if we're not going to reverse the appeal and we're not going to somehow make it go away, but if we gave you some more time, is that what you want?
Yes, please, yes.
So you would
Go ahead, sorry.
you would be in agreement to continue the we would continue this hearing for a later date as you make more improvements to the place, but we would ask that you keep us informed as you progress each month.
Yes.
You could do that?
What is the time frame to complete the house?
He says 10 months in his letter.
I don't see it. And you plan on personally moving into it?
Yes.
Yeah, he says with his family in the letter. So we don't get people. We get more people starting to try. At least he's put some investment in the house. So Mr. Sullivan, if we continue your appeal, you're going to give us a progress report every month as we move forward. You're going to let Mike know the work that's being done each month.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and you understand that if you don't do that, then we can bring this back before the board and take further action.
Okay.
Okay. I don't have a problem if he's not people.
I'd like to hear from the city.
We certainly
Okay.
don't object to his
Okay,
continuance.
so, yeah, okay, so before we, because I do think we need to hear some information
Sure.
from you guys. Is there anything else that you would like to add before the city, lets us know their side of the issue here? Well, next, the city will present information on the property that they feel is relevant. And then after they present information, just as you did, and we have time to question them, then we can do questioning back and forth, um, uh, to further, discuss the issue. Okay?
Just hang in there, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Plowman's already been sworn and already been deemed to be an expert in this field. Mr. Plowman, you're familiar with the property at 71 Rochester, correct? And this was deemed a public nuisance by order dated January 23rd, 2024, correct?
This was a, decision, correct?
But initially it was correct, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And you're familiar with photographs that have been previously admitted as exhibits A1 through A14, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And those photographs were taken on December 26th of 2023, correct?
Correct.
Mr. President, I'd like the board just to take traditional notice of the prior exhibits A1 through A14.
Thank you.
And I know some time has gone by since then and now, Mr. Plowman. Have you observed any work or improvements being done to 71 Rochester?
Yes.
Okay. And did you observe a new roof?
I observed a new roof and the steps leading to the front door.
And when was the last time you observed 71 Rochester?
Today.
Today. Okay. Did you observe, if anything, regarding any windows?
Yes, there is a missing or broken louver or window on the front gable.
And is the window broken, gone?
It's non-existent.
So there is no window.
Yes, I'm not sure whether it was a window or a louver.
And that's in violation of the property maintenance code?
Correct.
Did you observe any conditions regarding the electrical service?
There is currently no electrical service drop in line to the house, and the existing old electrical service is in the which was basically just hanging outside into the bushes.
Did you observe any gas service?
There is no gas services, no gas meter at the structure,
Any water service you're aware of?
no water service.
Did you observe any conditions or findings regarding the siding?
The siding is in poor condition. The rear structure of the house is sheeted on the interior of the structure, only with OSB, leaving gaps and exposures.
And any observations regarding the front porch?
The front porch flooring is sheeting that is delaminated, falling apart, and I did not attempt to walk on it.
And the siding and the front porch would be violations of the property maintenance code, correct?
Correct.
Any observations regarding the foundation?
I can't see the foundation on the entire structure. It looked like somebody had taken soffit and went lengthways with the soffit and to try to attempt to cover the majority of the foundation. But on the left-hand side, there is a section of the block foundation that is leaning pretty good.
Is the structure secured?
I'm not sure. I didn't attempt to go in.
Did you observe the interior through a window?
Yes.
What did you observe?
That the entire interior of the structure is completely gutted, and I could actually see dirt through the interior of the house, and I'm not sure what kitchen or living room had been remodeled, but I did not observe anything.
So when you say you saw dirt, would there be no flooring?
There's no flooring whatsoever.
And all the house are part of that.
And in the portion that I could see in the window, I could not see any flooring. The interior is just completely gutted. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, the roof been leaking, there was a hole in the roof, remember, probably a good thing.
Correct?
They took the rod out.
Maybe.
Well, it's also that the living room's been remodeled.
Did you see that Mr. Sullivan mentioned the living room? Did you?
Kitchen.
I did not
He's going to
observe
do kitchen next, he said.
had been remodeled, and the only thing that I could see was basically just framing.
So,
Okay.
and when you were observing the inside of the house, were these the front windows, the side windows? You pretty much were able to go all the way around the house and see in it?
I just looked in the, side window on the right side.
On the right side, so towards the front of the house.
Correct, coming from the front, I walked to the right. I walked around the entire structure, but I only looked in that one window. The only thing that had been done that I had noticed was maybe just, the interior was gutted and a new roof put on.
And Mr. Plowman, despite the appellant's work that's been done thus far, 71 Rochester, in your expert opinion, remains nevertheless a public nuisance.
Yes,
I have no further questions, Mr. President.
but
Yeah.
yeah, the sidewalk is not being maintained. It was not shoveled at the time that I was
Do we know if the property was being maintained during the summer?
there. Not as often as we probably could have
I
done.
just recently purchased this property. This is the Bell property, right?
Yes.
So this is a recent acquisition.
September.
Okay.
Okay.
He has somebody that's gonna maintain shoveling
We'll
the
ask him.
sidewalk
We'll talk to
for
him.
the winter. That'd be a good question to ask.
Yeah, any additional questions for the city? Okay, I guess yep.
And the person for him.
Yeah, we can open it up now for questions, from the Board of Health or basically back and forth.
Mr. Sultan, you indicated that you have remodeled the living room. Your next project is the kitchen. However, the city representative did not see any indication of that. What is your response to that?
Done. Everything done. Every month, give a picture to the mic.
Okay. Mr. Sultan, you said that you had redone the living room. Is there a floor in the living room?
Yes.
Did you put a new floor and floor joists in the living room area?
The new floor in the living room, I'm gonna put.
Did you put it on already, or you're going to put it in?
No, I'm gonna put.
Okay. Mr. Sultan, we have an ordinance here in the city of Bradford that the exterior of the home has to be maintained. In the summertime, the grass has to be cut. In the snow, we had over a foot of snow. Do you have someone locally to maintain the sidewalk at the house for you?
No, have to find it out.
You're going to need to find somebody, or you're going to be fined for not shoveling the sidewalk.
Okay, have to find it.
I know they don't get much snow on Long Island, but we average over 100 inches of winter up here, so you need to find someone to shovel the sidewalk in your absence.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Mr. Sultan, would you be in agreement to prepare a project with a timeline, or a project or plan with a timeline as to when you're going to get it done? Because my concern is, maybe it was a misunderstanding, but you indicated, you had moved forward with remodeling the interior, and it doesn't sound like that has happened. And I would like to have some type of project plan, if you would be in agreement with that you could work with Mike as to, okay, by this date I'll have this done, and then we could work with the inspector to, when you're in town, be able to observe whatever it is that you've improved. Would you be acceptable to that?
Yes, I can accept that.
Okay. So you understand what Councilman Goal, or Member Goal is saying, that we'd like you maybe within 30 days to provide us a timeline, what your plan is moving forward. We know it's going into the winter, but do you think you could put together a timeline or a schedule of the work you plan to do in the next 6-8 months for us?
Yes, I'm trying to.
Like, for example, there's no electricity in the house. When do you plan to have someone, an electrician, get the electric service established for you?
Yes, as soon as the application, then
So I have to ask a question, how does anybody work in the house with no electric? Are you using generators?
yes.
Mr. Sullivan, you do know that if you come up here during the winter and you're gonna spend the night in the house there, you can't have the generator running all night, keeping your neighbors awake.
Yes, but I won't sleep in the house.
Okay.
Sleep
You sleep
in
where?
the hotel.
In a hotel, okay.
Yes.
Okay. He's making an effort, I don't have a problem with it. Mr. Sultan, I'm gonna make a motion that we continue your appeal hearing, with the condition that you will provide a timeline to Mike Schreiber of your work moving forward within 30 days. So you have 1 month to give him a timeline or a schedule of what you propose for the work in the next 6 months. Could you get that to us within 1 month?
Yes. What?
Okay. So what we're gonna do is I make a motion, we appeal, we continue your appeal, with the understanding that you will provide a timeline to us within 30 days.
Okay.
Second.
Councilman Cole, second?
Okay.
Okay.
Roll call.
Member Gall,
Yes.
Member Lopez.
Yes.
Member Real,
Yes.
Member Pecora,
Yes.
President Proper.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sultan, we gave you more time to make improvements. Do you understand that?
Thank you.
Okay, and we look forward to hearing from you in less than a month.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. You're free to go.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to 44 North Center Street. Theron and Emily Simmons. I'll ask, have we received all of the appropriate paperwork to proceed with this hearing? All right, so I think that we'll begin. I think you saw the process. We're going to give you time to present.
Swear them in.
Yes, swear them in. And of course, with the caveat here that you let us know why you feel either this is not a public nuisance or what you are doing with specifics to remove it from the public nuisance list. So I'll let you begin and present what you have for us tonight.
I do have some pictures. I didn't get a chance to make copies for all you gentlemen. I didn't quite know this process. I do now.
Okay, we can accept the
Yeah,
pictures
I
for,
have other properties that I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys again very soon.
okay, so can we have these?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we will accept these photos as A1 for this particular hearing
44%.
for 44 North 7.
There's some before and afters in there?
Okay,
So
proceed.
first and foremost, this property, I didn't quite understand the whole situation of Bradford properties and stuff like that. I'm learning a great deal. We purchased this property a couple months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, something like that. I ended up purchasing like 6 or 7 properties, and I didn't think they'd all happen at the same time. Unfortunately, they did.
Were they at a repository or amended?
Some of them repository, some of them the tax sale, different types of sales. And then, another personal one, two personal ones. But anyway, so when we purchased this, I was under the impression that these were free and clear, and then we had all at liberty to do the work, which we have been doing. And I wasn't aware of this nuisance thing until, I was selling another property that I have that you guys have on your list that we'll address later. But, the people were told they couldn't get a permit because it was being torn down, and I didn't know anything about the tear down thing until then. And that's kind of when I started learning about this. Anyways, long story short, about this property, we've redid taken out the sewer and had the sewer lines replaced. Subfloors replaced. There's been some windows replaced, painting, electrical.
Is this the structure directly behind Choice?
Yes,
Okay.
it's been repainted. I still have to rebuild the front porch, which I submitted a permit application this past week. So I expect to have that at any time, and then I can finish that porch. But the entire downstairs has been completely cleaned out, remodeled, and I maintained the grass throughout this past summer as good as I could on all the properties that I ended up with. But, yeah, and I had a whole family of skunks I got to call on that I had to remove from under the structures.
You did safely relocate them, correct?
Well, yes, and I want to say the gentleman I had do that, yes, because I wasn't real familiar on how to trap skunks and remove them appropriately. So, yeah, I had somebody do that for me. As you can see, the property is definitely not the nuisance it's been, and I understand that this has been a problem for the city for quite some time, which technically not my problem. Now what my problem is, what I do moving forward. I have quite a few jobs going on right now that I'm making Bradford a better place and a much prettier place to look at, I'd like to say.
Are you from Bradford, Mr. Gunn?
I am originally from Bradford. Yes.
You live here now?
Born in Olean, and then grew up here, and then my family moved away for quite some time, and this is where I like to be, so this is where I'm at.
How long have you been back in the area?
Year and a half, about. Yeah, about maybe 2 years. Going on, well, about a year and a half. I hate the snow still.
Can't help you with that.
That again.
I don't want to assume what your intent is with the property, so I'll just ask you what's
It's a duplex, so my intent is to create some housing in Bradford, affordable housing that is clean, safe, and hopefully not problematic. I've spoke to the neighbor in detail about some of the history behind that place, and I plan to create something a little nicer for the families and hopefully some members of the community that want to do the exact same thing. Try to make it better, not make it worse. Got enough of the worst problems.
Well, the pictures certainly show improvement to the property over what we had seen a number of months or years ago. When
The place had issues for years.
And that's what I heard that, and like I said, I didn't know anything about the properties I've purchased. I ended up with a lot of them, and I'm trying to manage the best I can with what I was left with and to deal with, and I feel that I've done a pretty good job, and
You're doing most of the work yourself.
a good bit of it, yes.
Good.
My wife does quite a bit too. So, I mean, yeah, but for the most part, we do a lot of work. So if I could find people that wanted to work in this town, it would be great.
You know that problem. It's everywhere though.
It seems like it.
what's your scope of work on this?
I've been contracting homes for 35 years.
I want to know what the scope of work is for this duplex till you feel you can rent it. I just
Oh, I
want to-
still need to rebuild the front porch. That still needs done. That's one of the most important now that we got the sewer problem and the electrical problem taken care of. The upstairs still needs to be cleaned out and repainted, and anything else that needs to be redone, whether it needs flooring, I'm not sure. But at this point right now, I need to rebuild the porch. That's why I submitted my permit application.
is there heat in the structure?
There is,
Is there one unit down and one up?
yes,
or-
one down, one up. And I don't want to tell you, make that a lie, because upstairs, we haven't turned it on yet. But I know that it's there, the electric's there. So yeah, it's there, it's just not functioning at this moment, so I don't want to tell you something that I don't, like.
The heat does work downstairs.
Yes, yeah, oh yeah, and it works, it works, it's just not functioning right now because there's nobody there.
So you'll continue working on it over the winter.
Well, I'll still be working on it as soon as I get that permit. As soon as I can get, yeah, that doesn't stop me. You see, my hands are dirty every day, all day.
Okay, any additional questions? We'll move on to the city if there is not. Okay,
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Plowman's already been sworn and deemed to be an expert in this field. Mr. Plowman, you're aware of the property at 44 North Center?
Yes.
Okay. And the property was initially deemed a public nuisance October 25th of 2022, correct?
Correct.
And I'm showing you what's been entered into exhibit as A1 through A21. You're familiar with these photographs?
Yes.
Okay. Those photographs were taken on September 20th, 2022, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. President, I know time has gone by, but we're operating, have the board take additional notice of exhibits A1 through A21 for really juxtaposition to
Notice taken.
see what's been, done to the property since 2022.
And who was the owner of record when we declared it a nuisance?
Dwayne Works.
Okay, thank you.
And just for the record, the appellants did take ownership August 5th of 2024 by the deed was recorded that date. Mr. Plowman, you've heard the appellants testify that they have done work, correct?
Correct.
And you've observed work done to the premises, correct?
Correct.
But despite the work, there's still some conditions of the property that need to be rectified, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, you heard the appellant testify as to there's electric in the first floor, is that correct?
Correct.
Are you aware of electric on the first floor?
The meter, is on for the first floor.
Okay. Any electricity to the second floor?
There is no electricity going to the second floor. I don't know if it is a part of this structure has a history, with electrical problems specifically to that second floor.
Did you observe any gas service to the property?
The gas services are terminated to both upper and lower unit.
And the pictures, the photographs depict skirting around the foundation. Did you observe any conditions regarding that skirting?
The skirting is pulling away in spots.
The photographs depict painting. I believe that the appellant testified to the painting of the siding. Any conditions regarding the siding?
The siding, the siding is broke in quite a few different spots. The siding itself is in poor condition, just due to its age.
Any observations regarding any windows?
The window frames are old wood. They have been repainted, but there are several that I would recommend should be changed. Also, there is a window on the second floor that is open. I'm not sure why.
And you heard the appellant testify that the front porch does need some work. And your observations, if any, what are they regarding the front and rear porch?
The both front and rear porch, in my opinion, should be removed and rebuilt.
And any observations regarding the sidewalk?
The sidewalk was not shoveled at the time that I was there, which was late afternoon.
Late afternoon today? Now, it's clear from the photographs that were admitted and the appellant's testimony that there has been work and improvements done to the property, correct?
As far as the exterior, I would say, the only thing that I could say is paint. I don't know what other improvements have been made.
But despite the work that they have done, do you still feel, in your opinion, that 44 North Center is a public nuisance?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Mr. President.
Okay. Any questions for the city?
So I'd just like to know, these pictures are from September of 2022 here.
Correct.
These are not pictures that were taken since Mr. Simmons purchased the house August 5th and has made improvements. And
Correct.
you've not been in the house since he made the improvements?
I have not.
It's a remarkable difference in the photographs he submitted versus the ones from 2 years ago.
I have a question just because I'm encouraged by what you've had to say, but we've also had people come in here and tell us all kinds of things
I've
that
heard
are
that so
gonna
many times.
happen. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yes.
Well, we'll finish with Brandon, then we'll
Okay.
come back to you. That was our fault.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Any questions for Brandon?
Yep. Any additional questions for the city?
No, back.
Okay, now we can open it up for,
To answer your question, yes, I've heard that several times. Unfortunately, I'm not them, so I can't answer for you.
I'm encouraged by what you had to say. My question to you is, do you plan to bring the entire structure up to code? Meaning the site, because again, we've had different landlords indicate, well, we put paint on it and we can put paint on a pig and you guys will be happy. That's not true. So what we're looking for, and again, I'm encouraged by the fact that you want to bring nice housing available to Bradfordians. I think it's great. But what we're looking to do, and we're being very aggressive in using the ordinances to do so, that we want it to code entirely. Not just part of it, the entire structure needs to be code. So,
To answer your question, yes, I plan on following it up to code. Technically, if you look at structure and building, I've been building for a long time, and for him to say the siding is broken is, okay, that's fair, it may be, but it's not that. Siding's broken on probably 85% of these houses in town. So I don't think that's a fair assessment. Also, I've only owned this property since August, and I feel like tremendous work has been done in the couple months that I've owned it. And I've, not to mention, have several others that are going along with it as well that I'm trying to do as well.
I
So,
hope you don't think I was berating.
No, I just feel-
praising you, and I'm just asking
I
some questions
appreciate that.
as to what your
I feel the
thought
assessment the
process is.
city is giving is not right, not fair. I don't feel that that's even accurate, because those photos you just got, like the mayor said, that's from 2 years ago that had nothing to do with me. So why are they even in there?
That's just, that's the photos we have a record, but he did note that he had not been in there recently. He acknowledged he had not been in there recently, so nobody's trying to pull a fast one here.
And also, I did offer Brandon, anytime he wants to, I'm going to happily take him through, show him what we did. I've already offered that last week. And the sidewalk is definitely my fault. I did not do that today. I apologize. I had so much other stuff going on. I had a guy die on the job last week, so it's been a rough couple weeks.
Died on the job with you.
A guy came to install a chairlift on another property I'm redoing, and the guy ended up having a heart attack and dying. I gave him CPR for 15 minutes, he still died.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, very.
But back to this, the siding on that house, that's asbestos siding. It's very brittle. It breaks very, very easily. But if you can find other structures around town, or that are in poor condition, yeah.
Yeah,
If you're not going to put new siding on.
sure. Well, eventually my goal is to put vinyl on it. It's just not right now. I want to get, I've never had any idea I'd be dealing with this kind of stuff right now this soon of getting these properties, to be honest with you. So there's so much work I got to do to catch up. I mean, I lost one property, 56 East Main, I lost $20,000 on that I had people ready to build and redo that whole structure. But then the city told them they couldn't get a permit because they were tearing it down. So all this has been a snowball effect for me, and it's just like every time I turn around, I've got to fix something to try and chase my own tail is what's going on, and I'm trying the best I can. And
Okay. Well, Mr. Simmons, it appears, I mean, the photographs do speak for themselves. You made some substantial improvements on the inside. You need to do some more on the outside.
Absolutely.
And what, like Member Gold said, you're going to commend you for this. We need more people to do what you're doing because we do have a serious housing problem in Nebraska. There's a shortage.
And I do have windows to replace the ones, I just haven't been able to get over and put them in.
So, anyways, you're making progress, and we'd like to see more people doing what you're doing. So we obviously there's still issues that make it a public nuisance. So I would make a motion that we continue this appeal hearing for a later date, and you come back to us. You get a hold of Mike, and you come back to us in 2-3 months, and show us where you're at then, and have Brandon go there and take current photographs before you come back before this board.
I would suggest a specific date or a specific number of months. With consideration, the board can make any determination we want to. But I will remind everyone that our actual regulations state 30 days for an extension. So we can certainly, if you make a motion.
Can he wait his 30 days?
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure, if you make the motion for 90, that's
We're
fine.
going into winter. The rules are that we're supposed to only give you 30 days extension on this. Would you be willing to waive that 30 days? Waive that 30 days to say like 90 days. If you come back to us within 90 days to show additional progress, you take photographs, but we have Brandon to go in there before you come back before this board, so we're more current when you come back in 90 days.
Absolutely, and they're both parties.
So for the record, Mr. Simmons is waiving the 30 days and agreeing to 90 days to come back for his appeal, which will be continued until then.
Okay, so you have made a motion for a 90-day continuance on this property,
Correct.
I'll second.
all right?
Vote.
Yes.
Member Lopez.
Yes.
Member Riddle.
Yes.
Member Pecora.
Yes.
President Pro.
Yes. All right, if there is no further business before the Board of Health, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Meeting is adjourned.
Beer is on the city.
Right.
What's that?
Beer is on the city.